Nine more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 9 more days till Halloween. Silver. Hello, this is Mr. Hornsby 3. This is the Mr. Hornsby 3 show, and today is going to be the final two freaking normal videos I'll do for the year, because next week all I'm going to do is the big freaking live stream on Halloween night. So, yeah. It'll be the final normal videos. I will have a live stream Friday. I will have a live stream next Friday. And then I'm taking my break from YouTube until January. Anyway, so today I'm going to do a video. Well, you know what? So I was going to do the zombies one. I don't know, I'll do zombies. You know what? I'll save the clown one for Wednesday. But I'm going to talk about zombie movies, why I'm not a fan of zombie movies, and the only zombie movies and I'll let you know which zombie movies I actually seen, and which zombie movies I actually like. But, yeah. So, first off, you know, over the years, throughout time, we have had so many freaking zombie movies. We've had Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead. I think the 28 movie series is freaking a zombie movie. What else? There's a couple other zombie movies out there, and you know, really over the years, I've never really been a big fan of zombie movies. I just feel like the zombie movie genre is like one of the worst genres in freaking movies, and horror movies at that. Because, you know, there's so many zombie movies over the years, and I just don't care too much for zombie movies because, you know, seen so many freaking zombie movies, and there's zombies in everything these days. There's zombies in video games, there's zombies in freaking cartoons, there's zombies in anime stuff. There's all kinds of zombies everywhere. And, you know, not to say I don't like all the zombie genres, not to say I don't like all zombie movies, because there are some zombie movies I like, but I don't know. But anyway, let's get into some zombie movies I dislike. You know, shoot. Let's get into zombie movies in general. There are some zombie movies I like. I'll talk about, first off, let's talk about Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead is an okay zombie movie. I think the remake is a little bit better. It came out in 1990, but then again, you have better actors. I mean, because you had Tony Todd playing the frickin' dude, the main guy in the original. You had that one lady. You had a pretty good amount of good actors, and I don't know what this frickin' thing is on my nose. I don't know if it's a pimple forming or what, but it's fucking annoying in the dirt. But Dawn of the Dead, yeah, Day of the Dead, I've already talked about that. But honestly, and I've watched Night of the Living Dead quite a lot, because they've been showing that movie a lot. I think it's on the Encore channels almost every other weekend before Halloween started. It was Night of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I just don't think zombies are that really scary. I mean, yeah, they make it look scary in games, and there's some movies that make it look scary, kind of like Resident Evil movies. Which, you know, I completely forgot those were zombie movies. So, I guess, yeah, but, it's just a genre I just don't get into too much. I can watch something about Freddy Krueger. I can watch something about Jason. I can watch something about Michael Myers. I can watch something about Pinhead. I can watch something about you know, all the main guys like Chucky and all that. But when it comes to zombie movies, it's just like, they're actually more annoying to me than freaking actually, you know, whether I hate them or like them. But, like I said, the zombie genre has been around for so freaking long, and the biggest zombie movie that came out, well, it was big at that time, was a 1968 movie. And like I've said, I've seen that movie numerous times. The characters are so annoying. The zombies just freaking obliterate that freaking house and all that, you know. So it's just crazy. I will say one thing about Night of the Living Dead. That's kind of a dark, I guess you could say it's kind of a dark racist tone. Because, like, they see this tall black dude walking. He's got a shotgun in his hand. He's there looking out there to see if it's safe to come out, and then they shoot him in the head. Didn't even say, who is that right there, or anything like that. They just shot him. I don't know, but that came out in 1968. Dawn of the Dead, I'm like, it's lame. You gotta survive in a mall surrounded by zombies. And honestly, the best thing I've seen with zombies inside of a mall is frickin' Dead Rising, the first game. I love that game, and that game is an underrated hit. I don't know why people hate on Dead Rising so much, but that game was good. And when it first came out, X-Play and all that was giving it bad reviews, and, you know, I think even IGN and that gave it bad reviews. I'm like, wait a minute. Dawn of the... I mean... Dead Rising is a pretty good game. Better than the freaking movie. Now, the only freaking version of Dawn of the Dead I seen was the remake with freaking Ving Rhames in it. I have not seen the original version of it. Which, would that come out in like the 70s or something? I don't know. But I have not seen the original version, Dawn of the Dead. I've only seen the remake with Ving Rhames, and I didn't like that movie. I thought it was stupid. And that shows you how much I'm into zombie movies, because I really won't watch a zombie movie. If I see a zombie movie on, I'm like, no. Unless it's Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2, then I'll watch that. But, you know, Rob Zombie's not really a zombie. But unless it's unless it's frickin' Rob Zombie movies, I'm not going to watch a frickin' zombie movie. I will say there are some zombie movies I like. Like, I think, you know, I like the Return of the Living Dead movies. Those movies are good. Yeah. I guess the premise with zombies, it's just ridiculous to me. I mean, you gotta suspend your, you know, your suspensions of disbelief, but, I mean, come on now. It's hard to do that when you know no people can really come back to life as zombies. It's just, you know, yeah, you know, all these other fictional characters, you know. But, you know, you think about it, though. Freddy Krueger, he's a dream demon. There might be dream demons in real life. You never know. Michael Myers, somebody who went crazy and killed his sister and killed a bunch of people and put a mask on. Anybody could do that. Jason Voorhees, yeah, he's not really believable, but yeah, you know. Chucky, a frickin' good guy doll possessed by a frickin' psycho killer, yeah. But, you know, just zombie movies, I don't know. I just ain't never really cared too much for them. Outside of Return of the Living Dead movies, I also like, of course, the Resident Evil movies because I love the games. And I know a lot of people crap on some of the Resident Evil movies. I think the first one was good. Second one was good. Third one, it wasn't that good. Fourth, I thought was okay. Fifth was decent. And sixth wasn't that good, especially with the way they did Leon in that movie. It was lame how they did Leon in that movie. Seventh movie, Final Chapter, I thought was an alright movie. And it kind of wrapped things up in a nice little bow. But, you know, ever since that first Resident Evil movie, they really haven't been able to freaking topple. Because they tried to do a remake, a couple years ago? That movie sucked. And I hear they're working on another one. That's probably gonna suck. You know. But what I will say is, I do like the Resident Evil movies. I like the Return of the Living Dead. But any other zombie movie that's out there, I'm not really a big fan of. I mean, Dawn of the Dead, yeah, who cares, Day of the Dead, never watched it. The 28 movies, I got tempted. I got tempted when I saw the trailer to the newest 28 movie. And it looked like they were going to show evil Teletubbies. But then I realized they were just teasing me. So I'm like, no, I'm not watching that movie. I didn't even watch that freaking The Last of Us. I didn't really care. I haven't played the game. And I didn't watch the freaking TV show. I'm like, I don't care about zombie stuff. It's just not something that I'm a big fan of. I mean, honestly, these two genres in horrors I do not like is zombie movies and clown movies. Well, with the exception of the frickin' Terrifier movies and the frickin' It movies. But, outside of that, I'm not a big fan of clown movies either. But zombie movies, I don't know. Zombies just to me it's always been like a stupid premise. Like, okay, yeah. But maybe I'm just, the only one that feels that way because like I said, I don't really, outside of Return of the Living Dead, which I like 1 and 3. Didn't care too much for 2, and I haven't watched any ones that came after 3. Because apparently they've made a ton of Return of the Living Dead movies, kind of like with the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies. First 2 Silent Night, Deadly Night movies I like, and then the rest are just like, oh my god. And I remember watching 5 a lot. Because it was around 98, and I think my grandma would watch that one a lot. And I'm like, golly. It was just stupid. I mean, freaking. But first of all, I'm shocked. They're like, wait a minute, they got 5 Silent Night, Deadly Nights when I've only seen 2 of them, and that's I only remembered the first one. I didn't remember seeing the second one until I watched the second one. As I got older, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. This is the part where the kid freaks out when Santa, with the freaking red thing, and then them evil nuns were coming for him. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember that frickin' scene of the evil nuns. They weren't really there, but But, Ricky was imagining evil nuns. But, yeah, zombie. And you know what? I think zombie stuff. Yeah, some games are good, like the Resident Evil gaming franchise and all that stuff. But any other zombie stuff, I really feel like it's kind of overrated. I didn't care too much for the Last of Us games. I never really played them. Don't plan to play them. The Dead Rising games I like. Well, I really just like the first one. The other 2, I'm like, yeah, they're okay. Well, wait a minute. I think I played 1 and 3. I've seen other people play 2, and I don't think I've seen anything on 4, but yeah. I just like the first Dead Rising game. It was a really good game. Underrated game. I think people disrespected that game so much. I mean, I guess you could say people understand, is that a zombie movie? I mean, I guess. But that movie's really good, though, and it's made by Wes Craven. Same guy that made Freddy Krueger. But, but yeah, I'm just not a big fan of zombie movies. And, I mean, like I said, there's a few I like out there. The Resident Evil ones, the freaking, Return of the Living Dead. I guess I like Night of the Living Dead because I've watched that so much recently. Oh. Yeah, but zombie movies to me are just stupid. The zombies always look too cartoonish. The zombies are freaking always going brains. That's why I didn't even watch Walking Dead, because I don't care about zombie stuff too much. I was like, oh, wait a minute, you won't watch Walking Dead? What's wrong with you? It just don't appeal to me. I mean, zombie movies have never appealed to me. Return of the Living Dead, when I first was going to watch it, I'm like, man, that one's going to be stupid. But I enjoyed Return of the Living Dead. And I like 3. Now, 2, I don't like too much. I watched 2 not too long ago. But 1 and 3 I could watch all day. I could watch 1 and 3 all day freaking long if I had my choice. Especially with zombie movies, I'd go with freaking Return of the Living Dead 1, Return of the Living Dead 3, and then skip the rest of the Return of the Living Dead movies because I could care less about any of the other movies. I know a lot of people crap on 3, but I actually like 3. And that's one movie. I guess I'm in my own boat, like, Nick from Lost River Drive-In when it comes to zombie movies. I don't know, man. The zombies are always cartoonish. They freaking, it's like, oh, brains. We're gonna get you. Brains. I don't know. I just don't like zombie stuff in general, except for the Resident Evil games, Dead Rising, and the Return of the Living Dead movies and the Resident Evil movies. Outside of that, I'm not really a big fan of the zombie genre. A lot of people have their things they're not a fan of. People don't like vampire movies. People don't like, don't like slasher movies. People don't like freaking, psychological horrors. People don't like, all these other horror movies. Hey, well, maybe is Maniac Cop considered a zombie? I don't know. I like those movies. All 3 of them. Even Evil Dead, I'm like, yeah, that's okay. The movie's alright. I know the movie's popular. I'm not a big fan of Evil Dead either. Kind of like with werewolf movies. I really don't care about werewolf movies. Outside of seeing the Howling movies, I really don't watch no other werewolf movies. I'll watch freaking the Howling. Maybe Silver Bullet when it's on AMC. But any other werewolf movie, I'm like, who cares? So, yeah, it's kind of like with the Mummy movies, They're considered horror, but I think they're action. Well, the Brendan Fraser ones, I think are action movies, but yeah. But they get played all the time around Halloween. I'm like, these are action movies. Kind of like with Predator, like, it's not really a freaking horror movie. But yeah, it is kind of, it's got some scary horror elements to it, but really an action movie. Same with Alien. I'm like, it's action. It's not a horror. Maybe action horror, I guess you could call it. We got action comedy and all that, but yeah, even that frickin' Shaun of the Dead movie I've never watched. I'm like, why do I want to watch this? I just don't care about zombie stuff. Seriously. Zombie stuff is the lamest, genre in horror. And unlike with clown movies that I'll talk about Wednesday, I feel like clown movies just get overrated too much. Because you got a killer clown, you got the killer clowns from outer space, you got the frickin', you got It, you got Art, you got frickin' the clown from Devil's Rejects. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of zombie movies. Zombie movies, to me, are lame. Any zombie movie, let's say a zombie movie on and there's something like Halloween or something on, I'm definitely going to pick Halloween or something on. Or like Saw or something. But I'm not going to watch a zombie movie. Zombie movies just bore me. It's kind of like with The Exorcist, how, everybody's like, oh, that was so terrifying. And blah, 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 blah. I think it's a little overrated. I've seen the movie before, and I saw the movie as a kid, and I'm like, well, this movie's a bit overrated, It actually kind of bored me because all she's doing is laying in a bed all day, possessed by a demon. I guess that was exciting at the time it came out. So, yeah. Can't say too much about that, but, yeah. But yeah, as for zombie movies, I just don't like zombie movies. They're just so goofy and campy. That's why I enjoy freaking Night of the Living Dead, because they buy into the camp. They freaking do the goofy, silly stuff. Now, 3 took itself a little too seriously, but I still like 3. The rest after that I have not watched, and I do not plan to watch. 1 and 3 are the only 2 Return of the Living Dead movies I'll watch. Anything after 3, I'm like, nah. 1 and 3. Especially 1. I used to love watching 1 a lot as a kid. Me and my brother both loved part 1. But, yeah, Yeah, Resident Evil movies, love those movies. But outside of that, I mean, zombies in general just, I don't know, they don't scare me. They don't, you know. I've never been terrified by any freaking zombie movie. I've laughed my butt off watching Return of the Living Dead Part 1. You know, but outside of that, it's like, yeah, I'm not. I mean, zombie movies are just. And plus, they're so boring. The freaking zombies are so slow. Like, oh, God. Everybody talks about zombie apocalypses. Boy. No, but yeah, zombie stuff in general. Outside of the stuff I've actually seen in that genre that I actually like the Resident Evil, the Return of the Living Dead, and, you know, Dead Rising, the game. Outside of that, you know, Resident Evil games, outside of that, I don't really care for zombie stuff. It's not really, I don't know. Zombie stuff to me is just stupid. I mean, and plus it gets overused too much, too. I think that's another thing. They overuse the zombie stuff so freaking much. There's like a ton of zombie movies out there. Some I haven't even mentioned. You know, but there's like a ton of zombie movies and that out there, so. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. If it's not Return of the Living Dead, or it's not a Resident Evil movie, and it's about zombies, I'm not going to watch it. Plain and simple. I mean, yeah, I watched that Marvel Zombies just recently, which I thought was a good show. Only because of Blade, but I don't know. I know people enjoy zombie stuff. But so I guess, yeah, Marvel Zombies is something else I like, so yeah. It's the only thing of the zombie genre I like. But that's it. But yeah, anyway, that'll do it. I will probably... So Wednesday I'll be doing the clown movie video where I'll talk about clown movies. And I'm going to talk about a cult classic that everyone loves, but I'm not a big fan of it. And people are probably going to hate me for that. But, you know, it's my opinion. Just like with zombies. I know a lot of people love the zombie movies genre. I'm not a big fan of it. It's my opinion. You got your opinion. I'm not the frickin' what is it? Be all end all of, you know, opinions on zombie movies. I don't know. Yeah, there's people out there that like movies that I don't like. Like, I love the Children of the Corn. Well, I like 1 and 2. I didn't watch any after 1 and 2. I like the Phantasm movies, even though I've seen the other movies like 3 and 4, and I get critiqued. The only Phantasm movie I didn't like... Well, I thought 3 was kind of stupid when I rewatched it as an adult, but when I was a kid, I didn't hate it. Like, the only freaking Phantasm movie I never liked was freaking Ravager. When that came out, because I was so hyped, I'm like, oh, Phantasm, we're finally going to get that conclusion. What happened? It took them from 98 all the way to whenever that came out to freaking finally give us that resolve. But, yeah. Zombie movies are just... not a big fan of. Same with clown movies. There's only like I said, the Terrifier movies and the frickin' It movies are the only frickin' clown movies I like. And a lot of people gonna be like, well, what about, you know, Killer Clowns from Outer Space? You'll find out about that frickin' Wednesday when I talk about that. So yesterday when I posted up what I was doing this week, I did not know what I was gonna do a playthrough of. Friday. So I'm gonna let you guys, if you guys want to choose in the comments or whatever, do you guys want to see me play Bram Stoker's Dracula for Sega? Sega! Or, I mean, that Zombies Ate My Neighbors, that's pretty... That's another thing I like, is Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I like that game. That's a great game, and it's a fun game. It's, you know, the Return of the Living Dead of zombie games is frickin' Zombies Ate My Neighbors. That's how much I like Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Because I've always loved that game ever since I was a kid. Even though I'm not a big fan of other zombie stuff. But, so you guys want to see me do Bram Stoker's Dracula for Sega? Or do you want to see me hunt down a UFO, try to find the slashers, and the freaking possessed animals in the freaking GTA Online stuff. Let me know in the comments. Also, I'll, don't comment on this video, and then, I'll freaking announce what I do. If nobody comments, I'll probably just decide myself. But, yeah. So, I don't know. I ain't had no trouble finding any of the UFO stuff, and I've been pretty lucky finding the flash. The possessed animals, that's a little tougher. But yeah, anyway. That'll do it. See you guys Wednesday for the clown video. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Follow my Facebook fan page, Mr. Hornsby 83 Show. Follow my Facebook business page, Tri-Gen Toys. I'm trying to get a website set up for that. I'll probably try to get that going early next year. My daughter's supposed to be making friggin' business card for me and all that stuff for Tri-Gen Toys. So we'll see how it goes. But early next year, I might have all that stuff set up. Like I said, catch you guys Wednesday for the clown video. Catch you guys later. Peace out.